The same heavy atmosphere prevails in the courtroom. The murmurs rise and fall like a storm echoing off the stone walls. The faces of the spectators are filled with astonishment, anxiety, and a wave of unquenchable curiosity. Then, the sound of the gavel echoes once more. A harsh, sharp ringing that seems to split the air in two. The whispers in the hall suddenly stop. Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance. All three are sitting up straight, their faces full of determination and perhaps defiance. But the question is, will the court really be able to judge them? And at this point, the door creaks open and all eyes turn there. Because in this episode, a witness is coming. Who is this witness? What will he reveal? Will the scales of justice or the hand of chaos guide this trial? Stay tuned, because this scene is just the beginning, and the mystery is yet to be unraveled. Warning: the events described in this story are completely fictionalized. Throughout the series, the court will hear public accusations from some people about current events and what happened. The heroes of the next series will be chosen by you. Presiding Judge Washington strikes his gavel to start the trial and attracts all the attention. Silence. All of you to your seats. The second day of the trial begins. Today, we will witness one of the most critical moments in history. The scales of justice will be tested once again, and the truth will come to light. I will call our first witness to the stand. He is no stranger to this land. Mr. Trump and Vance hosted him not long ago. Perhaps you remember them. Mr. Trump, Mr. Vance. Mr. Trump and Mr. Vance look at each other. They seem to realize what Washington is talking about. Washington's voice is heard once more. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is called to the witness stand. Zelensky moves towards the witness stand with slow and determined steps. Trump and Vance watch him with threatening eyes. Washington turns to Zelensky and asks him to take the oath. Mr. Zelensky, do you acknowledge that you have volunteered to testify in this court and have taken the oath? Zelensky's serious and confident demeanor continues. Yes, Mr. President, I am here to tell the truth. Prosecutor Kennedy stands up on a signal from the president. He will ask Zelensky his first questions. The first question is quite critical. Mr. Zelensky, a telephone conversation between you and one of the defendants, Donald Trump, which began in 2020, has been leaked to the public. In that conversation, Trump allegedly pressured you to investigate a political opponent in exchange for American military aid. Are there any truth to these allegations? Zelensky takes a deep breath and puts his hands firmly on the lectern. Trump, on the other hand, looks very excited. That meeting is real. Trump asked us to launch an inquiry into the continuation of aid. But this was not a hand of friendship. It was an ultimatum, a condition. I could not sacrifice the security of my people to someone's political games. At that moment, I had a phone in my hand and the fate of a nation on my shoulders. At this moment, Trump, red-faced with anger, is ready to slam his fists on the table. Although he wants to hold himself back, he cannot do it. Finally, he leaps to his feet shouting, "This is a lie. It's a witch hunt. I just wanted to clean up corruption. That's all. Everyone knows what's going on in Ukraine, but nobody talks. You lied to everyone. You said you beat Russia. You lied to get money from the American people. You're a liar." George Washington strikes his gavel again, trying to ensure silence. Mr. Trump, Sit down and be quiet. If you speak again without being given the floor, you will be removed from the courtroom. This is a warning. This is not the Oval Office where you chastised Zelensky before. You can't scold everyone here as you please. Trump sits down reluctantly, but the anger in his eyes does not fade. Vance leans over and quietly tries to calm him down. Musk, on the other hand, keeps his head down and waits, as if he realizes what is about to be said about him. Prosecutor Kennedy is as calm as can be, because Trump did exactly what he wanted and was manipulated. Trump's anger increases the likelihood of success in Kennedy's case. He calmly turns to Zelensky and looks at his notes. Mr. Zelensky, we know that you have been in frequent contact with Elon Musk recently. There are allegations that there have been serious interruptions in internet support to Ukraine via Starlink. Has Musk hinted that this support could have political consequences? Zelensky's response was as expected. Kennedy has really gathered a lot of evidence and made a solid preparation to corner the accused. Yes, Elon told me very clearly that Starlink should not be used by the Ukrainian military for offensive purposes. It's a means of communication, not a weapon, he said. But that decision led to us being cut off at the most critical moments of the war. Our soldiers on the front line, our drones in the sky, all went dark. My people's lives were jeopardized in that moment. We were never the aggressors. We defended ourselves. But defending ourselves is aggression to Mr. Musk, as I understand it. My people were living peacefully on their land, and suddenly we found ourselves under attack. The enemy was right next to us. What did he expect us to do? Not use Musk's satellite systems while they were attacking us with all their weapons, while they were technologically far superior to us. Elon Musk is cold-blooded. My goal is not to start a war, but to bring people together. Technology should be a bridge to peace, not a tool for death. I couldn't let them use Starlink as a weapon. The world must realize that. The prosecutor is serious. Musk's behavior makes him uncomfortable, but he tries not to show it. Mr. Musk, this peace decision of yours has led to the withdrawal of thousands of Ukrainian soldiers, some even losing their lives. Are you saying that you did this on purpose? And what kind of peace is this? One country entering the territory of another country, striking all the military facilities of another country with missiles? Wouldn't the peace you are talking about be if these things were not done? Elon Musk pauses for a moment, then looks at the prosecutor. Elon Musk, no. I just wanted to preserve global stability. Both sides of the war are using technology like a knife, and it was in my power to dull that blade. But, yes, I did not foresee the consequences. Silent whispers begin among the jurors. One member takes notes, the other shakes his head skeptically. Abraham Lincoln is very serious. He remains silent. The historical figure frowns and shakes his head from side to side, as if tired of history repeating itself. For him, what he hears is only a repetition of what he has heard before. The president of the tribunal, George Washington, raises his gavel and loudly lowers it. All the defendants, the witness Zelensky, and the spectators stand up. This concludes today's hearing. Tomorrow we will hear the second witness, Russian President Vladimir Putin. His testimony will either illuminate or further obscure this complex picture. The trial is over for today only. The gavel comes down hard. The echoing sound dissipates in the hall. Zelensky comes down from the rostrum, his face tired and sad. the scars of war in his eyes, the weight of a nation on his shoulders. The tribunal is in a conversation among themselves. George Washington loosens his robe with a tired sigh and says, "What I see here today is more complex than the sweat I shed at the founding of a nation." Trump's anger, Zelensky's desperation, Musk's coolness. They are all on a scale, but I don't know where the balance is. Kennedy is a little angry. He tapped the table and said decisively, "Balance? This is a power play, George. I saw Zelensky begging for his people, but Musk cutting that connection. He put thousands of lives at risk. If he did that on purpose, there has to be a price. Tomorrow, I'll squeeze Putin. I'll put everything on the table." Abraham Lincoln is calmer than the others. He listens quietly, then takes a deep breath. "You may be right, Jack, but here's what I've seen. Everybody stands up for what's right. Trump talks about corruption, Musk about peace, Zelensky about survival. But what about the truth? The truth seems to be lost somewhere between these truths. History does that to us all the time." Kennedy nods with a smile. "That's an interesting view, but I'm judging actions, not everyone's truths. If the Starlink outage was not a coincidence, it could turn out to be a war crime. Whatever Putin says tomorrow, I have to get to the truth." George Washington stands up with a weight in his voice. "Then it's up to all of us to find justice in this chaos. Tomorrow will be more difficult. Gentlemen, every word from Putin's mouth will be like a chess move. Be prepared. Tomorrow, Putin will speak. But what will he confess? What will he hide? Will the truth come out in this courtroom? Or will it be buried forever? Stay tuned, because this story is not over yet.